Pride is an act of hubris, a vice that leads to arrogance and detachment from reality. People often say you should be proud of who you are, that you should tout a form of spiritual pride and feel better about yourself. But make no mistake, among those practitioners of philosophy, religion, and spirituality, the feeling of superiority towards those of lesser virtue is almost a given. You might even detest those who do not follow the same principles. Know this: humility is a virtue. Pride is a sin. Having a modest mindset is the true way of living a virtuous life. On the surface, pride might seem harmless. What could be wrong with feeling good about who we are and what we have accomplished? But it will make you blind. It's easy to see in today's society that pride will creep into our lives. Arrogance is a trap, a vicious cycle of your ego, competing against other egos to see which competitor is the best. Your ego is telling a story, and makes the practice of spirituality nothing different from having a more expensive car than your neighbors. People feel good when they try to one-up each other, a way to distinguish themselves from rivals and feel better than others. But having a more expensive car or a more fulfilling job are all externals that you should feel indifferent about. Pride of externals leads to excessive self-regard. It relies on things that are outside of your control. But we are all part of the greater cosmos and subject to the same natural laws as everyone else. Cultivate indifference to external events and focus on maintaining internal tranquility. If you feel any sense of pride, it should be in your own virtue and moral character. Be aware of your limitations and imperfections, and know that true wisdom comes from recognizing that there is always room for improvement. Ask yourself this: what have you mastered today? What passions opposed? Which temptations resisted? Introspection is a powerful tool against pride. It teaches us to strive for improvement rather than perfection. Being blinded by arrogance and pride is what stops us from learning what is truly valuable in life. This kind of pride can make individuals resistant to criticism and self-improvement. By maintaining humility, we stay open to new knowledge and personal growth. Treat others with respect and understanding. Don't let pride interfere. Everyone is subject to the same human weaknesses and challenges. Arrogance will only push people away. By replacing arrogance with humility, we might see that, no matter how vulgar someone is, there's always something about them that we can admire. Even if it's just the fact that they've been able to cope with life. Especially because if their lives aren't blessed with knowledge of living a virtuous life. Pride in its essence is a delusion of grandeur, a false belief in our infallibility and superiority. Maintain an even temperament in the face of both success and failure. When you are at the pinnacle of your career and personal life, you are susceptible to the pitfalls of pride. Excessive pride in success can lead to overconfidence, while humility in failure can foster resilience and learning. Know this: pride is the root of all other sins. It is the catalyst that opens the door to further moral decay. It leads us to believe we are more self-sufficient or superior to others, but it will only lead to our undoing. Can there be a form of pride that is seen as good? You can have the feeling of satisfaction in one's achievements. There can be recognition in one's worth without diminishing the value of others. This positive version of pride is about dignity and respect of the self, and not about superiority. But you must seek validation internally, rather than the external praise. Cultivate a life of balance between celebrating one's achievements and acknowledging your strengths, whilst being humble, open to learning and appreciating others. Remember this: every virtue and vice plays a role in shaping our character and our destiny. Choose wisely, with a focus on harmony and self-awareness. Urge yourself to question your motivations and the impact of our actions on others. Understanding and reflecting on the concept of pride can be a powerful tool for personal growth. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Stay inspired,